Welcome to PATRIOTS IAS Academy. If you are new to our channel, please subscribe. Democracy and development. Democracy is a form of government in which the people participate directly in governance or through their elected representatives. Democracy is a form of government where the people participates directly in governance or through their elected representatives. Democracy is a system of government that has long existed since the 18th century, brought about by the ancient Greeks and Romans. The major idea behind the democracy is the participation of the citizens in the decision making of the state. The major idea behind the democracy is the participation of citizens in the decision making. In the old democracy, it was first used by Athens. Individuals directly voted people into power without necessarily having representatives. The people got to participate personally in all important decisions. They regulate the working of the government continuously through instruments such as referendum, plebiscites, right to recall the elected government, or member for not performing as expected. So they use the instruments. They use the instruments such as referendum, plebiscite, right to recall. In the modern democracy, the representative democracy, or also known as indirect democracy, in which people vote for representatives who then stand for the people's views, and they raise the issues of the people in the parliament. So the modern democracy is a representative democracy, also known as indirect democracy, where the people vote their representatives and the representatives stand for the people's views, and the representatives raise the issue of the people in the parliament. Democracy is a system of government whereby the citizens of the country are actively involved in decision making and are ruled by a set of generally accepted norms and laws. So democracy is a system of government whereby citizens of the country are actively involved in the decision making, and the democracy is ruled by a set of generally accepted norms and laws. Every democratic system has some principles on which they stand, from the old democracy to modern day democracy. The first of this principle is the citizen rule. This is simply the role of the citizens in the governance. The first principle is citizen rule. Is simply the role of the citizens in governance. Citizens can participate in governance by voting in local, state and national elections, campaigning for a candidate, participating in political discussion, signing a petition, lobbying for laws that are of special interest, holding public office, serving the country through military or other service, and so on. So, citizen participates in governance by voting in local, state and national elections, campaigning for a candidate, participating in political discussions, holding public office, serving the country through military and other service, and so on. The second principle, the cardinal principle, that is free and fair elections. The cardinal principle on which democracy stands is free and fair elections. There is a political system for choosing and replacing the government through free and fair elections, which are held at regular intervals. All adult citizens have the right to cast their votes, which ensures that the will of the people will be expressed. So second principle is known as the cardinal principle, that is the free and fair election. The people choose and replace the government through the regular intervals. All the adult citizens have the right to cast their vote, and they will select which party to come and to form the government. That's the will of the people. The third principle, majority rule and minority rights. The third principle is the majority rule and the minority rights. In this principle, most of the political decisions are derived from the will of the majority, in which the rights of the minority must be protected. The rights of the minority have to be protected no matter how isolated they may be. Democracy values the protection of the human rights. The people have certain basic rights, and that the government cannot take away from them, and these rights are recognized universally and are definite. Freedom of speech and expression, freedom of religion are examples. So the third principle, majority rule and minority rights. Democracy values the protection of human rights. The basic rights of the government cannot take away from them. The basic rights of the people that the government cannot take away from them. The freedom of speech and expression and freedom of religion are examples for that. The fourth principle, rule of law, is another principle which democracy cannot work without it. It simply implies the control of arbitrary exercise of power by the formal establishment of laws and norms on which the society may stand. The law and procedures apply equally to all citizens irrespective of status. So the fourth principle is rule of law. Very important. Democracy cannot work without it. The laws and procedures apply equally to all citizens irrespective of status. So most of the developed nations in the world are democratic. Democracy encourages economic development through investment in education and health. Democracy helped in fighting against poverty, hunger and diseases. Democracy has aided in reducing infant and maternal mortality. Democracy ensures environmental sustainability and protection. Democracy truly has supported sustainable development, which make it important to live in. If you like our video, please subscribe, share the video with your friends. Thanks for watching.